Completed depth already at the linebacker position. And 2nd and 8. Deflection. Intercepted. Humphrey scores.
On 3rd and 4. Again, clean pocket. Intercepted. Picked off by Tre'davious White. And if the offense can't score, maybe the defense can. And that's how
Well. I'm still here, people. Still giving y'all this good content. Continuing the Versus series for tonight. These two I'm extremely excited about. And I'm extremely excited to get y'all's take on these two because these are two different spectrum type players. Like, one is completely over here in his skill set, and one is completely over here in his skill set. And it's not a bad thing. They just play completely different, but they're two good players nonetheless. And I found how different teams value corners differently. Some teams like guys to be extremely physical, like guys to come up and tackle. Some teams like guys that, have to have that top end speed. They both have good speed, but so these two, I think you guys are in for a treat with this one. It's your boy Foots the King, man. Let me know what y'all think of this Versus series. Like, share, subscribe. Marlon Humphreys versus Tre'davious White. Let's get into it. All right, y'all, let's get into it. And the first prospect that I'm going to touch on is Marlon Humphreys, number 26, Alabama, cornerback. Man, the book on him is physical. Let's get into some notes. So, he does need to use his hands better. Relies on speed and is very competitive. Will hit you. If he misses his jam, he's in trouble. So those are some good, bad, and maybe a little bit of ugly. But man, let's just talk about some good real quick. This kid is a feisty player. So I didn't know and didn't really understand the Marlon Humphreys hype. Didn't know exactly, what it was all about. I heard a bunch of people saying my two guys were coming out of the season before I got to anybody were Tease Tabor and Sidney Jones. I knew about those kids. Hadn't really, watched a bunch of tape on anybody else. So I get to Marlon Humphrey's tape today, got through 5 games, and I was extremely impressed. USC, Clemson, Florida, Texas A&M, Washington, got through all those games. This kid is a rock. Not a corner that's not going to tackle. He's going, when Marlon Humphreys comes and hits, you hear pass click. That's a plus for me because that lets me know that he's locked into playing the game of football. The other things that he needs to work on, I think can be corrected, more or less. And I think the right team with the right defensive back coach and the right scheme will be able to correct that. You got to think, him coming from a program such as Alabama, he's already extremely pro-ready, and I'm sure he's probably prone to coaching. Forced 3 fumbles, had 5 pass breakups, 2 interceptions in 2016. He battled with Mike Williams. That was a great battle. The Clemson game was step for step with Mike Williams. He got beat once on a pick play, but just looking at that game, he battled very well. Looking at the Texas A&M game, he basically took the kid that's about to get drafted out of the game. Was physical with him. Didn't use his hands well, but again, if he gets his jam and he gets his jam going, he's a very good player. Definitely a high first rounder. Some people are saying in the teens. I don't know. That's a little rich for me, but I do like the player a lot. Marlon Humphreys. In the 2017 draft, this is a very deep cornerback class. And like I just said about Marlon Humphreys, he's extremely physical. Well, now let's talk about Tre'davious White, where physicality is not his game, but finesse, speed, and quickness is the name of Tre'davious White. When you look at the word quick in the dictionary, you look at Tre'davious White right next to it. 5'11", LSU, foot quickness, phenomenal. Play recognition is very good. Doesn't really want to tackle, though. closing speed, very good. Can turn and run very well. I think him and Marshawn Lattimore are the two corners who actually will just run a receiver's route for them. What I mean by that is they know what it's going to be. If they're in good position, they're in their hip pocket. The Wisconsin game, it was a play where the receiver did like a curl, not a curl. It was more like a five and quick in, and it was out. It was to his outside shoulder, and Tre'davious White was in his hip pocket. Quarterback tried to anticipate the throw. Tre'davious picked it off. So I didn't understand his hype until I really got to his tape and studied his game. A lot like Mackenzie. Think about Mackenzie Alexander from last year's draft. I would say a better version just because he isn't so grabby and so handsy. He will use his jab, but he's so quick and relies on his speed so much that he doesn't really have to. He'll just run your route and he'll be in your hip pocket. Tackling, however, not his suit. He's definitely one of those guys that just stands near piles. I don't like that, but some teams don't really require their corners to tackle. He can come in the slot. 2 years ago, I was watching his tape against Laquan Treadwell. Played him and battled him extremely well. I think when he was a freshman, when he was a freshman, yeah, he had to battle the kid who's I'm drawing a blank. I hate this. What's my boy's name that plays for he plays for the Raiders now. Now I gotta look it up, y'all. And I should know this. Oh man, went to Alabama. Anyway, the fact that he was able to battle with this kid, 89. Y'all help me out. I hate when I have these brain farts like this. Oh my God, this video sucks now, and I'm gonna put this all out because this is the real deal, Holyfield. And I have to get it now because Amari Cooper. Dang it. 30 seconds out of the video, 40 seconds out of the video, Amari Cooper. Somebody should have played the Jeopardy music, and I scouted him when he went to Alabama. Nonetheless, he checked him very well. So Tre'davious White, the book on him is Speed. I like him a lot. They tried him in a fade too against Texas A&M. Played it very well, battled very well. So I like Tre'davious White a lot. In the end, for this Versus series, it's tough for me, but I'm going to have to give a slight nod to Marlon Humphreys just because of he does have the speed. You know, at the combine, he ran a 4.41, so he does have the makeup speed. And if he can use his jam, he can be, you know, a la Richard Sherman, if he can get that jam and use his hands just a little bit better, guys will be intimidated. And he has the height to really muscle with the bigger receivers, and he has the foot quickness to stay in the area and in the hip pockets of those shiftier receivers, or he can just muscle them off the line. That's not to say that Tre'davious White won't work in a good zone system or in a system that lets him kind of just go out and play man because he's so quick and so fast. For receivers who don't run good routes, he will be in your hip pocket and make you make mistakes. But for me, for this Versus series, I'm going to have to give Marlon Humphreys the nod. It's your boy, Foots the King. Let me know what y'all think of these videos. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out. I'm about to go to bed. Been doing music all day. But nonetheless, I got a bunch of notes on these guys, and I got some more prospects coming to y'all.